Neuroscience shows that procrastination activates the same regions of the brain involved in managing pain and stress. So every time you avoid that task, you're literally training your brain to take the easy way out, even if it means feeling worse in the long run. The question is, how much longer are you going to let your brain win? Let me ask you something. Why the hell do we keep procrastinating? Why do we sit there knowing full well that there's work to be done, and yet we put it off, day after day? It's frustrating, isn't it? You feel the weight of the unfinished tasks pressing down on you, but for some reason you still drag your feet. You know it's wrong. You know it feels bad, and yet you do it anyway. Why? Is it because it's easier to give in to the comfort of doing nothing? Is it because, deep down, we're afraid of what might happen if we actually succeed? Or maybe we're just addicted to the temporary relief that comes from avoiding what we should be doing. The harsh truth is that procrastination isn't about laziness, it's about fear. Fear of failure. Fear of success. Fear of the work itself. It's that nagging voice telling you that it's better to avoid the struggle, better to stay comfortable, even if that comfort is eating you alive from the inside out. The real enemy is not the work you have to do, not the deadline, and not the obstacles. The enemy is the lack of control over your own thoughts and decisions. Procrastination is a reflection of your inability to control impulses. Instead of taking charge of your responsibilities, you let your emotions or distractions dictate your actions. Your brain is wired for immediate rewards. That's why scrolling through social media, watching TV, or lying in bed feels so much easier than working on that task that requires effort. The problem is that your long-term goals are sacrificed for this instant gratification. The lack of discipline comes in when you choose momentary comfort over the discomfort needed for growth and achievement. Discipline is what allows you to keep going even when it feels tough. It's not about motivation that comes and goes. It's about showing up every day, doing the work even when you don't feel like it. When you procrastinate, you're failing to build the muscle of discipline. Every time you give in to the temptation to delay, you reinforce weakness. It's a vicious cycle that only worsens with time. The mind is powerful, but if you don't take control, it will control you. Procrastination is the mind's way of avoiding discomfort, but the real growth happens when you push past that. You need to train your mind to act, even when it's uncomfortable. This takes time, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to doing what's hard even when the easy option is so tempting. Mental discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you develop. Every time you fight the urge to procrastinate and push through it, you're strengthening your willpower. The real victory lies in overcoming that internal resistance and doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. This is the foundation of true self-control and success in any area of life. You are either the master of your mind, or your mind is the master of you. If you want to succeed, you need to stop letting procrastination control you. The mind can either keep you in a cycle of fear and avoidance, or it can empower you to push through resistance and take action. The choice is yours. And the real battle is not against the tasks at hand, it's against the weakness in your own mind. Procrastination is a complex issue rooted in the brain's reward system. When we procrastinate, it's often because our brain craves immediate gratification, which makes tasks that require effort feel unpleasant. This craving is tied to the brain's limbic system, which is more concerned with seeking short-term rewards, while the prefrontal cortex, which governs planning and decision-making, has to fight to prioritize long-term goals. To counteract procrastination, we need to train our brain to favor long-term rewards. One way to do this is by breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Completing these smaller tasks triggers small bursts of dopamine, making the process of getting work done feel rewarding. Using techniques like the Pomodoro technique, working for 25 minutes and then taking a short break, can help manage the brain's constant desire for rewards while preventing burnout. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for self-control and decision-making, is often weak when we're overwhelmed or stressed, which makes procrastination more likely. Strengthening the prefrontal cortex is key, and this can be achieved through practices that improve executive function, such as mindfulness meditation and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Mindfulness meditation has been shown to increase activity in the prefrontal cortex, improving self-control and decision-making. CBT helps refrain negative thought patterns and behaviors, teaching us how to handle procrastination by challenging the automatic avoidance responses. Decision fatigue can also contribute to procrastination, especially when there are too many choices. The brain becomes exhausted from making decisions, leading to delays in action. One solution is to reduce the number of decisions you need to make each day by creating routines and planning ahead. For example, planning your day the night before helps minimize decision-making in the morning, giving you a clearer focus when it's time to work. Overthinking or the fear of starting a task often leads to procrastination. A simple yet effective solution is the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes, knowing that once you start, the momentum will make it easier to continue. This works because the brain's resistance to starting a task is often driven by inertia. Once you begin, your brain shifts into a more productive mode, and it's easier to keep going. Setting clear, specific goals can also combat procrastination. When tasks are vague or overwhelming, they become easy to avoid. Using SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, helps break large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Studies in goal-setting theory suggest that specific, challenging goals result in higher performance, as they direct attention and reduce distractions. Another strategy is to implement if-then plans, also known as implementation intentions. By linking tasks to specific cues, you can program your brain to act without hesitation. For example, saying, if it's 10 a.m., then I'll start working on my report for 30 minutes, helps automate the task, reducing procrastination by eliminating the need for decision-making in the moment. Fear of failure often fuels procrastination, and perfectionism can make the prospect of starting a task overwhelming. One solution is cognitive reframing, changing how you perceive a task. Instead of thinking, I'll fail at this, you can shift to, this is an opportunity to improve. Reframing negative thoughts reduces procrastination and helps you take action, as it removes the paralyzing fear of failure. Finally, creating external accountability can help reduce procrastination. When there are no real consequences for delaying tasks, it's easy to keep putting them off. Setting up a system of rewards and punishments, or finding an accountability partner, increases motivation. Simply announcing your goals to a friend or colleague can also help you stay on track, as research shows that knowing others are aware of your progress significantly increases productivity. By incorporating these scientific strategies, you can rewire your brain and behavior to overcome procrastination. The key is to not only focus on forcing yourself to act, but to develop long-term habits that will make productivity a natural and sustained part of your routine.